Stop crying! He says it every time his hand closes around my wrist. The door clicks shut. The TV volume rises in the living room. I learned to count bruises like calendar days. Unseen means they don't exist. Then one night, the door swings open. My sister stands frozen in the doorway. From that moment, I didn't want silence anymore. I wanted to end everything in front of everyone. My name is Mara Daly, and I'm 26 years old, sitting on the back steps of my mother's house in Savannah while cicadas scream in the humid Georgia dark. The porch light flicker's been doing that for 3 years now, since Douglas moved in and promised to fix everything broken in this house. Everything except what he breaks himself. Inside, I hear the dishwasher grinding through another cycle, the TV blaring some reality show about perfect families. My mother Elaine laughs at something Douglas says. That practiced laugh, high and hollow, the one she learned to perform like a circus trick. Through the kitchen window, I watch him lean close to her ear, his hand on her shoulder possessive, not tender. She doesn't flinch anymore. Neither do I, usually. Mara. His voice cuts through the screen door. Get in here. Family discussion. Family. The word tastes like copper pennies in my mouth. I stand, brush dirt off my jeans, check that my phone is recording in my pocket, a habit now, insurance I never use. The door hinges whine as I step inside. The kitchen smells like his cigarettes, and Mom's nervous cooking too much garlic in the pasta again. Lila sits at the table, scrolling through her phone. Diamond engagement ring catching the overhead light. My half-sister, 5 years younger. Different father. Different life. She looks up, smiles that sweet smile that still believes the world is fundamentally good. We're talking about the wedding, Elaine says, not meeting my eyes. She's washing the same plate twice, 3 times. The venue needs final numbers. Douglas slides behind me, too close. His breath hits my neck bourbon and menthol. Your sister's big day, he says, hand landing on my shoulder. To anyone watching, it's fatherly, but his thumb finds the tender spot where my neck meets my shoulder, presses just enough to remind me. Riverfront ballroom. Very expensive, very elegant. Sounds perfect, I manage. His grip tightens, a warning. You'll behave yourself, won't you? No scenes, no dramatics. His voice drops lower. Just for me. Stop crying about things that don't concern you. The words are innocent enough for the room. Lila doesn't look up. Mom keeps washing that plate. But I know what he means. Stop crying when he grabs my wrist hard enough to leave marks. Stop crying when he corners me in the garage while everyone's asleep. Stop crying. Period. Of course, I say. He releases me, moves to pour himself another drink. The TV volume goes up some game show now, bells and applause drowning out everything else. This is how it works. The louder the TV, the safer he feels, the more normal we pretend to be. The photographer I hired is amazing. Lila gushes, oblivious. She did the Morrison wedding last month, the one at the cathedral. I nod, half listening. I'm a photographer too. Aerial drone work for North Shore Aerial Imaging, plus whatever event gigs pay the rent on my studio apartment across town. But I'm not the kind who gets hired for cathedral weddings. I'm the kind who documents construction sites and real estate listings, who captures things from far above where the ugly details blur into acceptable patterns. We need to discuss your role, Elaine finally says. Plate, finally clean enough. Apparently. In the wedding party? Here it comes. I see Douglas watching me over his glass. Lila wants you as a bridesmaid, Mom continues carefully. But the ceremony. The intimate family ceremony before the reception. We thought maybe. You thought maybe I shouldn't be there. I finish. Silence. Even the TV seems quieter. Lila's fingers pause mid-scroll. It's just, Elaine starts. She understands. Douglas interrupts. Don't you, Mara. Some moments are for immediate family only. Immediate family, Like I'm some distant cousin who shows up for holidays. Like I didn't grow up in this house, didn't watch him transform it into his kingdom of careful violence. I understand, I say. But for the first time in 8 years, I'm lying. I don't understand anymore. I'm done understanding. As I stand to leave, my phone still recording in my pocket, I make a decision. This wedding, this perfect, elegant, expensive charade is where it ends, not with me running away to Paris like I'd planned at 18, not with me disappearing into silence, with me opening every door he's taught me to keep closed. The first time Douglas hit me, I was 15. Quick backhand across the mouth for talking back about curfew. He immediately cupped my face, thumb wiping the blood from my split lip, cooing apologies. "You made me do that," he said. "You know I hate getting angry." Then louder. For Mom in the next room, Mara walked into the cabinet door again. So clumsy. Mom rushed in with ice, fussing over me while Douglas stood behind her, watching, making sure I said the right things. "Yeah," I mumbled through the swelling. The cabinet door. That became our language. Cabinet doors, stumbles downstairs, sports injuries from sports I never played. A whole vocabulary of lies that everyone pretended to believe. He was smart about it. Never the face after that first time too visible. Always the ribs, the upper arms, the back, places covered by clothes. He'd grip my wrist until bones ground together, then stroke the bruises later like they were love marks. "See what you make me do," he'd whisper. "If you'd just listen, if you'd just be good." The gaslighting came in waves. Monday, he'd shove me into the wall hard enough to knock pictures crooked. Tuesday, he'd bring home my favorite takeout, ruffle my hair in front of Mom. Wednesday, he'd corner me in the laundry room, hand around my throat, explaining how no one would believe me anyway. Thursday, family movie night, his arm around Mom on the couch while I sat on the floor, her asking why I was so distant lately. "Mara's going through a phase," he'd explain. "Teenage hormones, drama." And Mom would nod, relieved to have an explanation that didn't require her to look closer. Money was the chain. His contractor business boomed while Mom's bookkeeping clients dwindled. Suddenly, he paid for everything: groceries, mortgage, Lila's private school tuition, even my community college classes with conditions. Business administration, he decided. Something practical. Photography is a hobby, not a career. I took the classes, failed them on purpose, switched to online courses he couldn't monitor. Learned to edit audio, compress files, understand Georgia's recording consent laws. One-party consent state I could record him legally as long as I was part of the conversation. The cheap voice recorder lived in my camera bag, wrapped in lens cleaning cloths. I recorded everything. Hours of ordinary dinners, TV shows, his breathing when he stood too close, waiting for him to slip, to say something undeniable. But he was careful with words, spoke in implications and undertones. The violence was always just out of frame. Meanwhile, Lila bloomed into the daughter he actually wanted: honor roll, debutante ball, appropriate boyfriend from an appropriate family. She called him Dad by her 16th birthday. He walked her into her cotillion while I sat in the parking lot, nursing ribs he'd kicked the night before because I'd embarrassed the family by showing up to Sunday dinner in ripped jeans. "Why do you antagonize him?" Mom asked once, finding me icing my shoulder at 2 a.m. "He provides for us. He loves us." "He loves control," I said. She turned off the kitchen light, left me sitting in the dark. "Then don't give him reasons to need it." I learned survival in increments. Keep my phone charged, location services on. Take photos of every bruise. Email them to a separate account he didn't know about. Work every drone gig possible. Stockpile cash in a safety deposit box. Plan my escape to Paris, or Portland, or anywhere his shadow couldn't reach. But I also learned something else. Watching him perform perfect stepfather at Lila's graduations and recitals, he needed the performance more than we did. The respectability, the family photos on his office wall, the Christmas cards with all 4 of us smiling. Image was everything. His business thrived on referrals from country club wives who thought he was such a devoted family man. The night I turned 21, he found my escape fund. Not all of it, I'd hidden it in 3 places, but enough. $5,000 in a shoebox beneath old yearbooks. Planning a trip? He asked, fanning the bills across my bed like playing cards. It's mine. From work. Everything in this house is mine, he corrected. Then he lit the money on fire, right there on my comforter, watching me scramble to put it out, laughing when I burned my fingers on the flames. Stop crying, he said as smoke filled the room. It's just paper. Mom blamed me for the burn marks on the bedding, said I was careless with candles. That's when I stopped planning to run, started planning to stay, to document, to wait for the perfect moment when his image mattered most, when shattering it would cost him everything. The wedding invitation arrives on a Tuesday. Cream cardstock, gold embossing, Lila's name in elaborate script next to Tyler's, the investment banker's son she's been dating since college. I turn it over in my hands at my kitchen table, under the harsh fluorescent light that makes everything look like evidence. Mr. and Mrs. Douglas Kane request the honor of your presence. Not Elaine and Douglas, just him, claiming ownership of this moment too. The details are tucked inside tissue paper inserts. Ceremony at 4, reception at 6, riverfront ballroom. Then, on a smaller card marked Family Intimate Ceremony at 3:30 for immediate family only. My name isn't on the immediate family list. I should feel hurt. Instead, I feel the click of pieces falling into place. This is it, the stage he's building for himself. 200 guests, every important client, every country club connection, his stepdaughter's society wedding, crowning achievement of the perfect family facade. My phone buzzes. Lila. Did you get it? She asks, breathless with excitement. Yeah. I'm sorry about the family ceremony thing. Mom said Douglas thought. She stumbles over the excuse. You understand, right. It's just for photos and really boring anyway. Through my window, I watch a drone from my company map the construction site across the street. Mechanical and precise, documenting everything from above. I understand. You'll still be in the wedding party, though, lavender dresses. Douglas is paying for everything. Of course he is. Every dollar is another chain, another reason we owe him. After we hang up, I spread the wedding materials across my table like a crime scene. Seating chart tucked into the response card shows the head table Douglas at the center, commanding the room. Timeline shows cocktail hour from 5:30 to 6:30 peak golden hour, when every photographer knows the light is perfect. The venue floor plan reveals multiple entrances, security camera positions, the AV setup for the reception. I know Riverfront Ballroom. Shot a corporate event there last year. They have a state-of-the-art projection system, wireless presentation remote, screens visible from every angle of the main hall. Everything streams through a single media console in the back corner. I remember the tech manager showing me, proud of their setup. My laptop is open to the venue's virtual tour. I click through each room, memorizing angles, exits, sight lines. The family ceremony will be in the garden room intimate, glass walls, nowhere to hide. But the reception hall is different. 200 witnesses, cameras everywhere. The perfect stage. I pull up my evidence folder, encrypted and backed up to 3 different clouds. 8 years of documentation. Photos of bruises time-stamped and cataloged. Audio recordings mostly ambient. His careful threats too low to parse clearly. Medical records from the ER visit I'd claimed was a fall down the stairs. Not enough for police who'd want clear proof, but maybe enough for a room full of people who think they know him. The drone outside finishes its route, heads back to base. I think about elevation, perspective, the way distance can reveal patterns invisible from the ground. My phone rings. Mom. Lila says you got the invitation. It's beautiful. About the ceremony. It's fine. Silence. Then, quieter. You could make this easier. Mara, on everyone. How? Just be happy for your sister. Don't make things complicated. Complicated. That's what my existence has become in her narrative, the difficult daughter who can't just play along, can't just be grateful. I won't make a scene, I say. It's not technically a lie. What I'm planning isn't a scene, it's a reveal. There's a difference. Douglas is trying, she continues. He wants this to be perfect for Lila. I'm sure he does. After she hangs up, I sit in my quiet apartment, studying the invitation. The reception starts at 6, speeches around 7:30, after dinner, when everyone's relaxed and champagne soft. The father of the bride traditionally speaks first, but traditions can be disrupted. I open a new document on my laptop, title it Wedding Shot List. Not the photos, I'll take the footage I'll need. Audio from that night, if I can manage to provoke him. Video, if possible. Something fresh, undeniable, that gives context to everything else. And Lila. I need Lila to see it. Not hear about it, not be told about it, but see it with her own eyes. That's the only way to break through the careful blindness this family has cultivated. The wedding is 6 weeks away. 6 weeks to plan a confrontation that looks like chance. 6 weeks to prepare evidence that can't be dismissed. 6 weeks to find the courage I should have found at 15, or 18, or 21. I text Lila. Can't wait. Let me know if you need help with anything. She sends back heart emojis, tells me we're doing dress fittings next week. Perfect. Every fitting, every planning session, every rehearsal, they're all chances to set the stage, to ensure when the moment comes, when his mask finally slips, everyone will be watching. The invitation sits on my table, elegant and damning. Mr. Douglas Kane requests the honor of your presence. He'll have it. Every single person in that ballroom will be present for exactly what Douglas Kane is. The camera is smaller than my thumb. Military grade, the reviews said. I bought 3-1 for my keychain, one sewn into my camera bag strap, one that clips inside my dress collar like a vintage brooch. Each streams directly to cloud storage, triggered by a button that looks like nervous fidgeting. Testing them takes a week. I record myself from every angle, in different lights, checking what shows and what doesn't. The keychain works best innocent, unnoticeable. Perfect audio within 6 feet. The dress clip catches everything in a 90-degree arc. Together, they create overlapping coverage. No blind spots. Georgia law is clear one-party consent for recording. I've read the statutes until I can recite them. As long as I'm part of the conversation. It's legal, admissible, undeniable. The plan crystallizes slowly, like developing film in darkroom chemicals. First, I need fresh evidence. The old photos, the ambient recordings, their context but not conviction. I need him on camera, in action, with witnesses nearby. The wedding is the perfect storm of his pressure points image-conscious crowd, alcohol loosening his control, stress making him volatile. Second, Lila has to see it happen, not hear about it later, not watch a video be there when the mask drops. She's the only one whose testimony might crack Mom's denial. The golden child, Daddy's favorite, about to be a married woman with her own reputation to consider. I text Douglas directly, something I never do. Need to talk about the speech for Lila's reception. Want to make sure we're coordinated. He responds within minutes. Come by the house. Tonight, 8. The house. Never home. I dress carefully, long sleeves despite the Georgia heat. High collar. The keychain camera positioned perfectly. My phone has 2 recording apps running, one visible, one hidden beneath a calculator interface. When I arrive, Mom's at her book club. Planned that way, I knew her schedule. The house smells like his cigars and leftover Chinese food. Lila's at Tyler's for the night. Also planned, I'd suggested she show him wedding favors samples. Drink. Douglas offers from the kitchen. No. He pours himself bourbon, neat. 3 fingers, his loosening up amount. So, the speech? He leans against the counter, studying me. What about it? I'm giving one. Are you, sister of the bride? It's traditional. He sets down his glass, moves closer. The kitchen feels smaller. You're not great with traditions. Mara. I'm learning. Are you closer still? I smell the bourbon, the cigars, that cologne he thinks makes him sophisticated. Because I'm seeing something else. I'm seeing a problem. My finger finds the camera button, presses once. Recording. I just want to celebrate my sister's wedding. Bullshit! His hand shoots out, grabs my wrist, the familiar grip, bones grinding. But this time I don't pull away. I let him hold it, let the camera catch every second. You want to ruin things. It's what you do. Let go. Stop crying, he says automatically. Though I'm not crying, haven't cried in years. Always the victim, always making trouble. I said let go. His other hand rises, and I know this choreography. The shove is coming, then the wall, then his forearm across my throat. But this time, oh my God. We both freeze. Lila stands in the doorway, purse slipping from her shoulder, not at Tyler's. Here. Early. The timing is wrong, but the moment is perfect. Douglas still has my wrist, twisted at an angle that speaks for itself. The red marks already rising. Lila's eyes track from his hand to my face to the way I'm positioned against the counter. He was just, Douglas starts, releasing me, stepping back. I saw what you were doing. Lila's voice is small, confused. You didn't see anything, he says, authoritative. The dad voice that's always worked on her. Mara was getting hysterical about the wedding. Stop. I keep my voice level, clear. The cameras are still running. Lila, he does this all the time. Has for years. She's lying, Douglas says. You know how she is. Dramatic. Jealous of the attention you're getting. I pull up my sleeve. The fresh bruises from his grip are already darkening, but underneath are the yellowing remains of last week, the week before. A timeline written on skin. Lila's face changes. Something shifting behind her eyes. Mara. Every bruise she told you was clumsiness, I say quietly. Every time I was difficult at family dinners, every reason Mom said I couldn't come to your recitals, it was him. Lila. Sweetheart. Douglas moves toward her, arms open, but she steps back. The Thanksgiving I missed, she says slowly. You said Mara had the flu. She did. I had a broken rib. I interrupt. From him. Mom knew. The silence stretches. Douglas's mask is slipping, calculating which approach might still work. Father figure victim of manipulation. Confused patriarch. I want to leave, Lila says finally. We're leaving together, I tell her, moving toward the door. Douglas blocks our path. No one's going anywhere until we sort this out. I hold up my phone. Show him the recording app, the visible one. Move, or I call 911 right now. His face darkens, but he steps aside. As we pass, he whispers low enough that he thinks Lila won't hear. You'll regret this. But Lila does hear. She stops, turns back. What did you say? And for the first time in 8 years, I see her really look at him. Not as dad, not as the provider, but as what he is, a man who hurts people smaller than him and thinks he owns their silence. I asked what you just said to my sister, she repeats. The kitchen light buzzes. Outside, a dog barks. Douglas's mask is completely gone now, replaced with something cold and cornered. 6 weeks, I tell him. You have 6 weeks to figure out what you'll tell people at the wedding, because they're all going to know. 3 nights before the wedding, I text Douglas again. Need to discuss the reception timeline. Mom's at her sister's tonight. Come by at 9. He arrives at 9:15, late enough to show he's in control. I've staged everything kitchen lights dimmed except for the harsh overhead fluorescent, making shadows pool in corners, the dishwasher grinding through its cycle, rhythmic and loud. My keychain camera positioned on the counter next to my keys. Casual. The dress clip camera hidden in my collar. Phone propped against the fruit bowl, supposedly showing wedding schedules but recording everything. Where's your sister? He closes the door behind him, locks it. The sound echoes. Bachelorette party, the mild one, with Tyler's mom. He pours himself bourbon from the bottle he keeps here, still acting like he owns the place, even after the other night. So, what's this about the speech? I want to go first at the reception. Before you? He laughs, genuinely amused. You think you have any say in the order? I think you want this wedding to go smoothly. Is that a threat? It's negotiation. He moves closer. I stay still. Let him come. The cameras need clear angles. You always were too smart for your own good, he says. Just not smart enough to know when to shut up. Like when you broke my rib, should I have shut up then? His hand twitches. Wants to grab me, but remembers Lila walking in. That was an accident. Which time? The rib. The concussion freshman year. The cigarette burn you said was from cooking. Stop crying about ancient history. There it is. The phrase, on camera, clear audio. I push harder. I'm not crying. Haven't cried in years. You beat that out of me. Beat. He tastes the word. Such an ugly accusation. I disciplined a troubled teenager who was destroying her family. By strangling me in the garage? The bourbon glass hits the counter hard. You want to play this game? Fine. Who do you think they'll believe, the successful businessman who saved this family from bankruptcy? Or the bitter daughter who's failed at everything she's touched? They'll believe evidence. What evidence? Your little recordings of nothing. Photos that could be from anything. You think you're the first hysterical woman to cry abuse when she doesn't get her way. He's getting louder. Good. The dishwasher can't mask everything, but raised voices carry. I need more. Need him to snap completely. Mom knows, I say quietly. She's always known. Your mother is grateful. I gave her a life she could never afford. Gave Lila opportunities. Even tried with you, but you're too damaged. Because of you. Because you're weak. He's in my space now. Bourbon breath hot. Pathetic. 26 years old, playing with drones, living in that Roach Motel apartment. You're nothing without this family. Nothing without me allowing you to exist. Allowing. His hand shoots out, grabs my throat. Not hard enough to bruise yet, but firm, possessive. The cameras catch it all. Stop crying, he whispers, though I'm silent. Stop making scenes. Stop trying to matter. The back door opens. We both turn. Lila stands there in her party dress, mascara smeared, holding her phone. She wasn't at the bachelorette party. She's been outside, listening, recording. Let her go. Her voice shakes, but her hand holding the phone is steady. Douglas releases me, steps back. His mask scrambles to reassemble. Lila, sweetheart. I heard everything. You heard out of context. I heard you admit it. The garage, the cigarette. I heard you choking her just now. She's crying, but her voice stays clear. I recorded it. You're drunk from your party. I haven't had a single drink. Mara texted me, told me to come but stay outside until... She gestures at my throat, where his handprint is probably already rising. Until that? The kitchen feels vacuum-sealed. The dishwasher churns. The fluorescent light buzzes. Douglas looks between us, calculating odds, exits, damage control. 2 phones recording, I tell him. 3 cameras. Lila as witness. Do you want to escalate, or do you want to leave? His face cycles through expressions, rage, calculation, something that might be fear. This is entrapment. This is consequences. The wedding will happen, Lila says, and you'll smile and play perfect stepfather one last time. Then you'll leave. Divorce mom if you want, or stay married and live elsewhere. I don't care, but you won't touch Mara again. You won't be alone with any of us again. Or, his voice is dangerous now, or every person at that reception sees what we just recorded, during your speech, on those beautiful screens you paid for. I pull out my phone, show him the upload progress bar. Already in the cloud, multiple copies. Dead man's switch set for 7:45 at the reception. Unless I stop it, Everyone sees. The dishwasher stops. The silence is deafening. Douglas's mask is completely gone now. Just the real him, smaller than I remembered. Older. Ordinary in his cruelty. You vindictive little... Stop. Lila's voice cuts through. Just stop. Stop talking. Stop threatening. Stop everything. We have enough recordings of you saying, "Stop crying," while hurting her to destroy you. So stop. He looks at her, his golden child, his perfect stepdaughter, holding her phone like a weapon. Then, at me, throat marked with his fingerprints, cameras still rolling. The wedding goes perfectly, I tell him. You give a beautiful speech about family and love. Then you disappear from our lives. Or everyone knows, Lila adds. Your clients, your golf buddies, everyone. Douglas walks to the door, pauses. Your mother. We'll be told after the wedding, I say. With evidence. With options for therapy and lawyers. He leaves without another word. The door clicks shut. Lila and I stand in the bright kitchen, both shaking now that he's gone. She comes to me, touches my throat gently where the marks are rising. Did he hurt you badly? Not compared to before. She starts crying then. Real tears, not the pretty ones from earlier. I'm so sorry. All these years. You didn't know. I should have. The signs were there. I think about telling her it's okay, but it's not. None of it is. So instead, I say, you know now. The kitchen light buzzes. Outside, a siren wails somewhere in Savannah. We stand there, sisters finally on the same side of the door, waiting for our breathing to steady, for the shaking to stop, for the wedding that will be our final performance as his family. The bruises on my throat have turned purple-green by morning, perfect fingerprint shadows that makeup can't quite hide. I stare at them in my bathroom mirror, then directly at the keychain camera I've propped on the sink. My name is Mara Daly. I tell the lens. It's October 12th, 2 days before my sister's wedding. These marks were made by Douglas Kane last night at approximately 9:45 p.m. I turn my head, showing each angle. My sister Lila witnessed the assault and has video evidence on her phone. I save the file, upload it to 3 different clouds, email it to the attorney I've finally contacted. Then I dial 911. 911, what's your emergency? I need to report an assault and request documentation for a restraining order. The operator takes my information, says officers will come to take photos, write a report, asks if I need medical attention. I tell her no, just documentation, official records, paper trails that can't disappear. The officers arrive within an hour, a young woman who photographs everything meticulously, an older man who's seen this before. They document the bruises, take my statement, write up the incident report, case number 2024-10-8847. I memorize it. Will you be pressing charges? The female officer asks. Yes. After my sister's wedding, I have evidence from multiple incidents. She nods, gives me her card. Be careful. These situations can escalate around big events. Lila texts while they're leaving Mom's asking about the marks on your neck. Tell her the truth. I reply. She won't believe it. Then tell her what she wants to hear. An hour later. I'm at the house. Mom's in the kitchen, aggressively scrubbing counters that are already clean. She doesn't look up when I enter. Lila told me Douglas grabbed you. He strangled me. You provoked him. I pull out my phone, play the audio. Douglas's voice fills the kitchen. Stop crying. You're weak. Pathetic. Then the sounds of struggle. Lila's voice commanding him to let go. Mom keeps scrubbing. That could be edited, taken out of context. The police didn't think so. She freezes. You called the police. I filed a report, case number 2024-10-8847, assault documentation. The marks are photographed and officially recorded. The wedding will happen exactly as planned, unless Douglas does something stupid. She finally looks at me, really looks, sees the bruises, the determination, The years of silence finally breaking. You're going to ruin everything. He already did that. This family isn't a family. It's a hostage situation with good decorations. The counter is so clean it squeaks under her cloth. What do you want? I want Douglas to give his speech at the wedding, then leave. Forever. I want you to get therapy. I want Lila to have one perfect day before her life changes. And if he doesn't leave, I connect my phone to her laptop, pull up the cloud folder. 8 years of evidence fills the screen. Photos, audio files, medical records, the new police report. Then everyone at the reception sees this. During his speech, she stares at the screen, at the mosaic of violence she's pretended not to see. Her hand shakes as she scrolls through image after image. Bruised ribs, burned shoulder, black eyes I'd hidden with concealer at family dinners while she commented on how tired I looked. I didn't... She stops. Can't even finish the lie. You did. You knew. You chose not to see it. He saved us. The house was in foreclosure. Lila needed schooling. You needed a mother who protected me. Silence. The laptop fan whirs. Outside, lawnmowers drone in suburban harmony. The rehearsal dinner is tomorrow, she says finally. At the riverfront, 7 o'clock. I'll be there. Can you cover the bruises? I almost laugh, still worried about appearances. I'll wear a scarf. Mara. She reaches for me but stops, hand suspended between us. I'm sorry. No, you're scared. There's a difference. I leave her there with the evidence on screen. 8 years of truth she can't scrub away. On my way out, I pass Douglas's home office. The door is locked. It's been locked since that night. But I can hear him inside, on the phone, voice low and urgent, calling lawyers, probably, or trying to figure out how to delete clouds he can't access. My phone buzzes. Lila final fitting in an hour. Are you coming on my way? At the bridal shop, Lila's friends flutter around her in lavender silk while she stands on the pedestal in white lace, looking like what she is, a 21-year-old who shouldn't have to be managing evidence of assault the week of her wedding. You okay? I whisper when the others are distracted by champagne. Tyler knows, she whispers back. I told him everything. He says his father's lawyers can help if needed. The seamstress adjusts her hem, oblivious to our conversation. In the mirror, I catch sight of my neck above the scarf. Still marked. Still evidence. The rehearsal dinner. Lila starts. Will be perfect, I assure her. He won't risk anything with Tyler's family there. She nods, tries to smile for her friends who are taking photos, but I see her hand shake as she reaches for her champagne. See her check her phone where the videos are saved. See her looking at doorways like she's planning exits. 48 more hours, I tell her. Then it's over. But we both know that's not quite true. It won't be over at the wedding. The wedding is just when everyone else finally sees what we've been living with. The real ending comes after lawyers, divorce, restraining orders, therapy, learning to stop flinching when doors close too hard. The wedding is just when we stop pretending. The seamstress asks me to try on my bridesmaid dress. I slip behind the curtain, remove the scarf. In the dressing room mirror, under the boutique's perfect lighting, the bruises look even worse. Evidence in lavender silk. Stop crying, I whisper to my reflection. Douglas's words turned into armor now. I'm not crying. Haven't cried in years. But after tomorrow night, I might finally be able to start. The rehearsal dinner at Riverfront Ballroom glows with golden light. 200 guests in cocktail attire, champagne flowing. Tyler's father telling golf stories to Douglas near the bar. My scarf is silk, matches my dress, hides everything. 7:23 p.m. The dinner plate's cleared, speech is beginning soon. I catch the AV technician during his smoke break on the terrace. Hey, I'm Mara, sister of the bride. Quick tech question if someone wanted to display something during speeches tomorrow. How would that work? He shrugs. Simple. We have a media console backstage. Plug in USB or connect via Bluetooth. Content shows on all screens simultaneously, even from a phone. Especially from a phone. Most people want to share photos these days. He shows me the app on his tablet. See, anyone with the event code can stream directly to the screens. I memorize the code, RFB Kane 1014. Back inside, Douglas is 3 bourbons in, holding court with business associates. His voice carries across the room that performed warmth, that careful control. Mom hovers nearby, wine glass trembling slightly. Lila sits at the head table, Tyler's arm around her, both of them tracking Douglas like he's a snake in the garden. The police are already here, invited guests who happen to be Tyler's family friends. Detective Morrison and his wife, seated at table 12. I'd called him this afternoon, explained the situation, sent him files. He'd said he couldn't act without cause, but would enjoy the wedding as a guest. The way he said it told me he'd be watching. Ladies and gentlemen, the MC announces, we'll begin our speeches with the father of the bride. Douglas rises, straightens his tie. The room applauds. He approaches the microphone with that confident stride, that winning smile. Behind him, the screens glow blue, waiting for content. Good evening, everyone. They say a father's job is to protect his daughter. My phone is in my hand. The app opens, connection established, to guide her toward happiness. I hover my finger over the folder, 8 years of evidence, queued and ready. And to show her what real love looks like, that's when I stand. I'd like to add something. Heads turn. Douglas freezes at the mic, sees my phone, understands immediately. Mara, he says, voice still amplified. This isn't your moment. You're right. It's yours. The first image fills the screen's my throat. Yesterday morning, purple-green fingerprints in high definition. Gasps ripple through the room. That's what Douglas Kane did 3 nights ago, I announce, loud enough for everyone to hear. While discussing this wedding, Douglas steps toward me. Detective Morrison stands simultaneously, casual but ready. The screens change. Audio waveform appears. Then Douglas's voice booms through the ballroom speakers. Stop crying. You're weak. Pathetic. 26 years old. You're nothing. Then the sounds of struggle. Lila's voice. Let her go. More gasps. Chairs scraping. Someone drops a glass. The screens shift again. Medical records. Patient presence with bilateral rib fractures. Concussion consistent with blunt force trauma. 2nd-degree burns on shoulder. Turn it off. Douglas snarls into the mic, abandoning pretense. 8 years of medical records. I continue. All injuries he inflicted, all documented. The screens now show the police report, case number prominent. Then another audio file plays the recording from years ago I thought was too unclear, but amplified through the ballroom's sound system, enhanced by the AV tech's equipment. His words are crystal clear. You made me do this. If you'd just be good. No one will believe you anyway. Tyler's father stands, moves toward his security chief. Mom sits frozen, wine spilling from her tilted glass onto white tablecloth. Lila rises, walks to stand beside me, united, visible. This is a family matter. Douglas tries, but his voice cracks. Not anymore, Lila says, taking the second microphone. I witnessed him assault my sister. I have video evidence. We filed police reports. Detective Morrison is moving now. Not rushed, but purposeful. His wife follows. Badge now visible on her belt. She's law enforcement, too. The screens show one final image Douglas at last night's kitchen counter, hand around my throat, face twisted with rage. A photo Lila took through the window before entering. Undeniable. Douglas Kane. Detective Morrison's voice cuts through the chaos. I'm placing you under arrest for assault and battery. You have the right to remain silent. This is entrapment, Douglas shouts, backing away. She set me up, the vindictive little, Sir, stop talking. Morrison's partner has cuffs out. Turn around, hands behind your back. The room watches in stunned silence as Douglas Kane, successful businessman, generous stepfather, pillar of the community, is handcuffed at his stepdaughter's rehearsal dinner. The screens still glow with evidence. Someone is crying. Multiple phones are recording. The wedding. Mom finally speaks. Voice hollow. "We'll be perfect," Lila says into her mic. "Tomorrow, we celebrate love. Real love. Without fear." She looks directly at Tyler's family. "Thank you all for coming. The bar remains open." As Detective Morrison leads Douglas toward the exit, he passes our table, stops, looks at me with such hatred that Morrison tightens his grip. "Stop crying," Douglas says one last time. "I'm not crying," I reply, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Haven't cried in years. You beat that out of me. But you know what tonight? That ends too." The cuffs click as Morrison pulls him away. The ballroom doors close behind them with a definitive thud. I set down my phone, hands finally steady. The screens have gone dark. The room breathes again, uncertain, electric with shock and whispered conversations. Tyler stands, raises his champagne glass. "Tomorrow," he says clearly, "for courage." "Tomorrow," Lila echoes, tears streaming but voice strong. One by one, others stand, raise glasses, even Mom, finally, shakily finding her feet. I don't drink. Don't smile, just nod once, then walk to the terrace for air. Behind me, the rehearsal dinner continues different now, honest now. The pretense shattered like champagne flutes on marble. The river glows with reflected city lights. Somewhere, Douglas is being processed, photographed, fingerprinted, locked behind doors that he doesn't control. Tomorrow, Lila will walk down an aisle without him. Tonight, for the first time in 8 years, every door in my life is finally open. The river wind cuts cold against my face on the terrace. Behind me, the rehearsal dinner continues in fractured waves, shocked whispers, scraping chairs, the occasional nervous laugh. My phone buzzes with notifications I don't read. Inside, someone changes the music to something softer, trying to salvage the evening's rhythm. Lila finds me first. Her makeup is ruined. Black streams down her cheeks, but she's never looked stronger. She stands beside me at the railing, looking out at the Savannah River where tomorrow's wedding photos were supposed to feature Douglas walking her down the aisle. "Tyler's father is handling the bail situation," she says, "making sure Douglas can't get out before Monday." Good. Mom's inside, drinking wine and telling Tyler's aunt about the foreclosure 10 years ago, like she's finally remembering who she was before him. We stand in silence, watching boat lights drift past. The terrace door opens footsteps. Then Tyler appears with my coat. "Thought you might be cold," he says, draping it over my shoulders. His family owns half of Savannah's financial district, could have had anyone's daughter, chose Lila anyway. Now I understand why. He sees her, not the performance. "Your detective friends are gone," he continues. "They said you should come by the station tomorrow afternoon, after the ceremony. File additional charges if you want. Tomorrow, the wedding." It's still happening. "I'll walk myself down the aisle," Lila says quietly. "Or maybe Mom and I together. Haven't decided." More people drift onto the terrace, Tyler's sister, some cousins, friends from college. They don't approach us directly but form a protective semicircle, present but not intrusive. Someone brings champagne. Someone else brings tissues. "I need to show you something," Lila says, pulling out her phone. She scrolls to a video from 3 years ago, her college graduation. Douglas at the podium, giving a speech about pride and accomplishment. But in the background, barely visible, I'm standing against the wall, holding my ribs carefully. Now she sees it. Now she knows what to look for. "Every photo," she whispers. "Every family event. You were always standing apart, and I thought you were just antisocial. I was surviving." "Stop crying," she says suddenly, and we both freeze. Then she laughs bitter. broken. God, how many times did we hear that? How many times did he say it while, it doesn't matter anymore? I turned to face the ballroom through the glass doors. See Mom at a table, surrounded by Tyler's family, finally letting someone else take care of her. Tonight, the door opened. We go back inside eventually. The party continues, transformed into something raw and real. People approach me carefully, offer support, share their own stories in whispered confessions. Douglas's business partners huddle near the bar, probably calculating how to distance themselves from him by morning. At 10:30, I leave quietly, drive through Savannah's squares, past the old houses with their perfect facades hiding whatever happens inside. My apartment feels different when I unlock the door lighter somehow, like the air pressure has changed. I sit on my bed, still in my dress and scarf, pull out my phone, delete the cloud folders one by one. The evidence served its purpose. The police have copies. I don't need to carry it anymore. My throat aches where the bruises are turning yellow-green. Tomorrow, makeup will cover them for the photos, or maybe it won't. Maybe visibility is the point now. The next morning arrives crisp and bright. October in Savannah at its finest blue sky, gentle breeze, the kind of day that makes people believe in happy endings. I arrive at the venue early, help Lila with her dress, hold her hand when she shakes. "You don't have to do the speech," she says. "After everything, I want to." The ceremony is smaller without Douglas's business associates who mysteriously had emergencies. But the people who matter are here. Mom walks Lila down the aisle, both of them crying but standing straight. Tyler's vows include a promise to protect not just Lila, but her whole family. He looks at me when he says it. At the reception, when it's time for speeches, I take the microphone, the same one Douglas held 18 hours ago. The screens behind me glow soft blue, waiting, but I don't need them now. Love isn't supposed to hurt, I begin. Real love doesn't leave bruises, doesn't require silence, doesn't make you count injuries like calendar days. The room is silent. Lila reaches for Tyler's hand. My sister is brave, I continue. Braver than she knows, because she saw the truth and didn't look away. She stood witness when it mattered most. That's love choosing to see, choosing to stand up, choosing to open doors that someone else locked. I raise my champagne. To Lila and Tyler, may your love be loud, visible, and fearless. May all your doors stay open. The room erupts in applause. Lila runs to embrace me, whispers, "Thank you," over and over. Mom joins us, tentative but present. For the first time in 8 years, we're just a family complicated, damaged, but honest. Later, as the sun sets over the river and the dance floor fills, I step outside one more time, the terrace where everything changed. My phone buzzes a text from an unknown number. I almost don't read it, assuming it's Douglas from jail. But I look. This is Detective Morrison's wife. Wanted you to know 3 other women have come forward since last night. Former employees from his company. You're not alone. You were never alone. I delete the message, put my phone away. Inside, Lila and Tyler sway to their first dance. Mom sits at a table with Tyler's mother, actually laughing. The photographer captures moments that won't need editing. Tomorrow, there will be lawyers and paperwork and therapy appointments. There will be the slow work of healing, of learning to stop flinching, of remembering who I was before the bruises. But tonight, the music plays, the lights twinkle, the doors are all open, and for the first time in 8 years, when someone tells me to stop crying, I can finally start. Thank you for listening to my story. I'd love to know where you're listening from. Leave a comment below, and let's connect. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts. Your experiences and perspectives matter, and this community is here to listen.